All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Dylan Garden.
All right, so you're here for 3 separate cases. All of these are for warrants that were issued for direct complaints that have been filed. Your first direct complaint alleges 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony that has an offense date of July 20th of 2021. Your next one is for 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, with an offense date of February 10 of 2023. Your final matter is going to be for 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, that has an offense date of April 21 of 2023. In all 3 of those matters, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference set on September 23rd with a preliminary hearing September 26th, both at 8:30. And that'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Now, in this matter, I don't show you received notice of the summons that went out since it was sent back return mail, so I am going to be releasing you here today to appear at those next court dates on your own. You are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So before you go, you're going to receive their information, including their contact information. You do have to stay checked in with them while on release. You're also going to be subject to drug testing and monitoring while on release. Okay? Any questions regarding any of these 3 cases?
No, I thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right. So we have Catherine Portanova and Edward Johnson up next.
Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Your full name and date of birth?
Catherine Noyes Portanova.
All right, thank you. So you were here for a bench warrant that was issued. It is for failure to appear in CR 2024-130013. So in that matter, you now have a status conference set on September 23rd with a preliminary hearing September 26th, both at 8:30. I do show this is the first warrant that was issued in this matter. I also took a look at your criminal history, and it wasn't showing any other failures to appear listed, at least in there. I know you were previously released on your own recognizance. If I give you another shot to appear at your next court date, are you going to be able to appear on September 23rd?
Yes, ma'am. And also, I have been petitioned out of my own free will as well to go to the UPC, as well as to go get treatment in Cottonwood and Tucson in a 30 to 45-day program.
All right. You're going to need to contact your attorney if you're going to miss any.
I absolutely will.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
All right, and pretrial services, because you're going to be released subject to their supervision this time.
Okay.
All right.
Will the
You'll
phone
get
number be?
paperwork. Yeah, you'll get paperwork on that. And what you
Okay.
do.
Thank you,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have Edward Johnson and Danny Cordray will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Edward Johnson.
Thank you. So you're here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of tampering, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest, passive resistance, that's a Class 1 misdemeanor. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set on September 23rd with that preliminary hearing September 26th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I am following the PSA recommendation in your case. You are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So before you go, you'll get some additional information in your paperwork, and that'll give you the instructions that you need for pretrial services, including their contact information, because you do have to stay checked in with them. All right, any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, so we have Danny Cordray and Jerry Pellegrino will be up next.
Hi,
Sir, your full name and date of birth?
Yes, ma'am. Danny Cordray,
Thank you. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of criminal trespass in the first degree, a Class 6 felony,
Yes.
with the offense dated today, September 8th. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference set on September 23rd and a preliminary hearing September 26th, both at 8:30. And that'll be at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court.
Okay.
I was pretty concerned about the nature of the allegation that you're here for, but I do recognize that you do have very limited history. So I am going to be releasing you today, but it is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You're also going to have orders here that you are subject to alcohol testing and monitoring and drug testing and monitoring while on release. You also have to, or you can't go back to that residence where you were found, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you can't possess or consume alcohol while on release.
No problem.
All right, any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am. And I'll get the paper with the dates.
Yeah, it will be, and we're going to reprint out his paperwork. I didn't have one term checked. If you could reprint that one, maybe.
Thank you so
We'll get
much.
that out to you here in
I
just
really
a moment,
appreciate
okay?
that.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Jerry Pellegrino, and then Crystal Mitchell will be up next. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Jerry Ann Pellegrino, May 7th.
thank you. So you are here for a new case out of the Peoria Municipal Court. It is alleging one count of assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor, has an offense dated today, September 8th. This is considered a domestic violence offense in nature, so you are entitled to court-appointed counsel, but that will be handled by the court that actually has your case, which is the Peoria Municipal Court. So they'll handle that at your next court date, which is an arraignment hearing September 26th at 9 a.m., and that'll be at the Peoria Municipal Court. In this matter, you are being released on your own recognizance. It is going to be your promise to appear. But given the nature of the offense, I do have here that you're not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, which does mean if you were previously residing there, you would need to find another place to live, so an alternate residence at least until further court order, okay? Any questions regarding that?
I have a cat there and my belongings.
Okay. I did put in your order that you are able to do a civil standby. That's done with local law enforcement. You contact them, let them know you need to schedule a civil standby so you can go back and collect your things and your cat, okay?
This stuff I need tonight, or...
If there's someone that was uninvolved in this case who's not a victim in this matter, you can always contact them to see if they can assist you with getting your belongings without you having to go there to get them. Otherwise, you have to wait for the civil standby.
which is when?
You schedule it. You have to contact local law enforcement, which in your case it looks like would be Peoria PD. And you need to let them know what you're trying to do, and they'll set it up with you.
Okay.
All right? All right, any other questions? All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, so we have Crystal Mitchell, and then Justo de la Cruz will be up next. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Crystal Mitchell.
Thank you. So you are here for a warrant that was issued out of the North Mesa Justice Court. It's a failure to pay warrant for a driving on suspended license case. Looks like it's from like 6 years ago.
Oh, shit.
So in this matter, they've set an arraignment hearing September 26th at 1 p.m., and that'll be at the North Mesa Justice Court.
Okay.
Since it is a failure to pay warrant on a traffic offense, I am going to be releasing you on your own recognizance to appear at that next court date on your own. Just make sure you show up September 26th and set up some kind of payment plan with them.
Okay.
All right. Any questions regarding this?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, before we have our next matter come in, let me just double. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth? Your full name.
Justo de la Cruz.
Thank you, sir. So you are here for two separate cases. So the first one is a bench warrant that was issued. That's for a failure to appear in CR 2024-124423. So in that case, you now have a status conference set on September 13 and a preliminary hearing September 17, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in this matter, the bond in the warrant's been affirmed. That is a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Now, you do have a second case, and this will be totally separate as far as the amount that's involved. So this is a family court warrant. So in other words, it's a child support warrant. Your case number there is FC 2019-093978. The judge in your child support case set a cash purge amount of $1,500. The cash purge is the amount that you must pay in cash in order to be released, at least prior to your next court date that you have here. And that is going to be on September 10th at 10 a.m. That'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Now, whether you pay that cash purge and are released or not, you do still have to attend that court date or another warrant could issue at that time. Under Arizona law, I am not permitted to reduce the amount of the cash purge that has been set in this matter. However, I am still required to ask you the following questions, which you can answer, but you do not have to. Is there anything you want the court to know about your present ability to pay the cash purge? And is there anything you want the court to know about being held in custody until the cash purge is paid?
I just wasn't informed of this. This is all coming up, for the first time.
I mean, you've received multiple warrants for the same thing in the case. So, I mean, it's not the first time, but you can certainly speak to the judge at your next court date with any questions.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Which is in 2 days.
I'm sorry?
Your court date's in 2 days, so you can talk to the judge in this matter. I'm only handling you on the warrant.
You're only handling me on the warrant?
Yep, on the child support warrant. So if you have any questions regarding the case itself and why it was issued, you can speak to the judge that's handling your case. Your hearing is on September 10th.
Okay,
All right.
September 10th. So, but basically I'm in custody until the 13th, no matter what?
So if you're unable to post that $2,500 bond, that's for your open felony case, then yeah, you would remain in custody until at least your next court date in that matter as well, no matter what happens in the child support case on the 10th.
Yeah.
Because these are two separate things.
Two separate payments either way?
Two separate payments either way. One's a secured appearance bond, the $2,500 is a secured appearance bond. The child support warrant, that's a cash purge, so that amount does have to be paid in cash, so in full. Okay?
Is there any way I can be released to handle these things?
No, there's no way.
Because there's nothing I can really do about them while I'm here.
All right, then you'll remain in custody and you'll be brought to your next court hearing, so I'll transport you there. Okay?
I mean, it's not okay. It's the first time I'm hearing about this, and it kind of really...
Again, it's not your first warrant, so you've already kind of been through the process. But you can go ahead and step over and pick up your paperwork there. All of your information will be included.
Thank you for the information.
We have Joseph King up next, and so he's the last person to be seen. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Joseph King,
Yes, sir. So you are here for a fugitive of justice warrant. This is for a warrant that was issued out of the state of Texas.
What does that mean? What is fugitive?
That means Texas has a arrest warrant for you, and we're going to be honoring it here in Arizona. Okay? They were notified that you were arrested on the warrant, and they did confirm that the warrant was valid and that they would extradite on it. So were you given that laminated sheet?
The sheet that they gave was... Yeah,
Yeah, it was that large laminated sheet. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at that?
I did.
Okay. So basically what that is that's the waiver information. So that's the language for a waiver of extradition. I'll go over both of the options. If you don't know how you want to proceed, then I'll just automatically set your extradition hearing here in Maricopa County.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you the option of both directions. Okay? So your first option that you have is you can choose to waive extradition today. When you do that, you are agreeing to return to the state that issued the warrant. In your case, that is Texas. You would have no further hearings here in Maricopa County. You would be held in the Maricopa County Jail non-bondable until Texas comes to pick you up on the warrant. Now, Texas, in turn, would have 30 days starting tomorrow in order to come pick you up. That 30-day time frame starts tomorrow unless you have any local open cases. I'm not aware of any, but if you do have any, the 30-day time frame would start after that local case was completed, okay? If you don't have anything local, then it's just 30 days. That's if you want to waive your extradition rights and return to Texas, okay? Your second option is you can choose not to waive extradition, at least not at this time. If you opt to go that direction, I would be setting a fugitive from justice or extradition hearing for you on September 16 at 1:30. That would be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Now, in that case, I can't appoint an attorney to represent you at that hearing. Even though this is a criminal matter over in Texas, the actual extradition proceedings are civil in nature. So I'm not going to appoint court-appointed counsel. You do have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you there. I'll also note there are sometimes public defenders who are present who can provide assistance, but there's no guarantee of that, okay? So in that case, Texas indicated this was a non-bondable warrant. In other words, they're saying you should be held without bond no matter what, but I have no information that makes it so I can legally hold you non-bondable if you choose not to waive extradition. So I would be setting a bond, but it is a pretty significant one. So you'd have a $25,000 cash-only appearance bond. So that's the amount you'd have to post to be released prior to your next court date that you have. Let me finish everything, and then I'll let you answer questions, okay? So I got to go through the whole thing here for you. All right. The process there, if you don't want to waive extradition, is that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states, so of both Texas and Arizona, in order to extradite you back to Texas. Now, that process can be longer. It can take up to 90 days. That's the time frame they have to execute the warrant, okay? All right. Now, go ahead. Any questions that you have?
Okay, what's the charge in Texas again? Fugitive?
Well, it's a fugitive from justice warrant. That just means you have an arrest warrant issued out of Texas. That's not the charge. And I don't have your actual warrant here. I just have your printout of what's going on here. And I believe it was some kind of theft of a firearm, I believe was what's in here. I don't have any other information, though, regarding that. Okay, that's the only thing I have. Okay? Any other questions, though, regarding those two choices that you have there?
I'll do the first option you said.
So you want to waive extradition and return to the state of Texas?
That's the 30 day.
That's the 30 days, yeah. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do then. I have to go through a series of questions. I have to have you answer yes or no out loud. And the reason I'm doing that is because I do have to make a determination that you are knowingly and voluntarily waiving extradition before I can sign off on it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so first of all, did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork, which was that laminated sheet, that big sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you do not have to sign the waiver of extradition today.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you have the right to demand an extradition hearing here in Maricopa County? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand that you have the right to hire an attorney at your own expense at that hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you're extradited back to Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that in that case, if you chose to have a hearing here in Maricopa County, you would have the right to bail. It's the $25,000 cash bond. If you waive extradition, you would be non-bondable in the Maricopa County Jail till Texas comes to pick you up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to give up those rights in order to sign the waiver paperwork today?
Can you say what you just said? The last
Yeah. All these rights, so those questions that I just asked you, those are all the rights that you have here in Arizona, okay? So when you sign the waiver of extradition, you're giving up all those rights, okay? Do you want to give up those rights in order to sign the paperwork here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours? All right, so let me ask you this way. If you have had drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours, has that affected your ability to understand these proceedings and make a decision? No? Okay. Based on those representations, then, I do find that you are knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily signing the waiver. I'll be signing it as well, and I am directing the Sheriff's Office to notify Texas that you are ready to return at this time. Texas will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. Again, if there are local charges pending, those have to be taken care of first, and then the 30-day time frame will start. So before I have you come up here, I was just going to see if you have any other questions. Go ahead.
$2,500. I would have to pay, if I wanted to do that, I would have to pay 10%, right?
It's a cash bond.
Oh, so that's the
Yeah,
full
that's
pay?
different, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that means you have to pay the full amount.
Okay.
Okay? You still want to go forward with the waiver? Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and get it signed on my end. If you want to go ahead and step up here, we'll let you know as soon as it's ready. You have to sign a couple times on the little thing.